Brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
47. 26. 26.
Play action now, Prescott. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Under.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to air one out. He's got him in, complete. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 51 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here we go. 46. 26.
Second down, Prescott. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
26. Here we go. 40. Good. 26.
Prescott from the gun. And down he goes moves. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Leonard Floyd in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They pitch out to Howard, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Here's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Here's Austin. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run with Darkwa. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Darkwa. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 47. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he's got it to Hearns. 18 yards there and a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it. And he got it. On the run, Darkwa trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Good. 26.
On third down, it's Prescott. He goes underneath to Ingram. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Prescott on third and goal. Steps away to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hands up.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And that is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
No, check, Patriot!
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Lucky 56.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. Give him 30 yards there. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Got three down. Let's go, we're on the ball after this.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Trubisky to throw again. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first, they go right back to Howard. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. And his kick is good. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Tavon Austin, he's going to go. The 30, past the 20, 10. And he takes it all away, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4.
Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. And finding Pruitt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The 13 yards that time at a first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now Darquan. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time, and that'll make it 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and, boy, it's another boomer. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. They go with Howard to begin the drive. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Cohen, and here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation. And taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. On the toss play, Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Ingram again. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Looking to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll set up a throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll look to throw here. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They go with Howard again. And down to the 36-yard line here. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. A give to Howard. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now here come the Cowboys. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there getting the sack.